Hey there guys, welcome to my channel. I am Blade Drummer and I am back for another review. This time it's Monster Hunter. Can Paul W.S Anderson screw up another game to film adaptation? Well, get comfy, grab yourself a drink, and let me tell you all about it. Monster Hunter opens in a vast desert with a group of US Army Rangers on patrol, led by Captain Natalie Artemis, played by Milla Jovovich. What looks like a combination of sandstorm and a thunderstorm rises on the horizon, and Natalie and her team are suddenly thrust into an alternate universe alongside ours that is basically more desert, but with giant, terrifying creatures. Instead of world building, which has defeated some of his most enjoyable escapism, Anderson goes for a vast desert wasteland aesthetic, and it's a big flaw. You can't make a movie called Monster Hunter that's boring to look at, and this is one of Anderson's flattest films in every way. For the uninitiated, the video game Monster Hunter has been a popular franchise for Capcom since 2004, depicting a pre-industrial world where monsters dwell and players take on the role of the titular hunter to track down and kill a menagerie of strange and deadly beasts. Especially given the huge success of Monster Hunter World in 2018, which reinvigorated the series on modern consoles, it's not hard to see why both Capcom and Sony thought there was cinematic gold in this, especially when their previous pairing on Resident Evil seemed to work out well for both, but only on a commercial level, as aside the first film, the others just got worse and worse to the abysmal climatic finale. After Anderson dispatches with most of Natalie's crew, he unites his heroine with someone from this world called the Hunter, played by Tony Jaa. Working with the editor, Doobie White, what a name, Doobie.
Yeah, that's not funny.
He cuts every sequence in the film into a hyperactive cinematic gruel, so everything just looks and feels the same, at least for the first hour anyway. Even when Jaa gets to show off some of his notable skills, we barely get to see them because of the choppy filmmaking. There was something that I thought about throughout the film, and that is that Tony Jaa is clearly the main lead. Or at least he should be. That's no slight on Jovovich's action or acting skills, because they are both pretty damn good. The actual Monster Hunter should be our central focus in a movie called, well, Monster Hunter. The creature design isn't even as elaborate or detailed as the games, feeling like the bare minimum required to satisfy an effects studio that literally just says, make a big monster. The decisions that were made in terms of the monsters here, they just feel safe and boring. While this is obviously meant as an origin of sorts, to see Artemis take on that Monster Hunter role, which includes a rushed training montage, the journey doesn't feel particularly earned or necessary, nor does it culminate meaningfully. And the limited amount of screen time given to Tony Jaa just draws attention to a more interesting story we're not getting. Over an hour into this film, Anderson suddenly decides to introduce a whole new set of characters. This includes a giant CGI cat warrior and Ron Perlman. Yes, Ron Perlman is in this as well, wearing a legendary blonde hair metal wig. And it looks brilliant and so stupid at the same time. Ron Perlman plays the leader of Tony Jaa's crew. It very quickly sets up an entire universe that we're suddenly plunged into the middle of. This has a jarring effect as it comes out of nowhere while the film races to its unsatisfying climax that sets up a potentially more epic sequel, provided this makes enough money for the franchise to continue anyway. The film expects you to be familiar with the characters introduced, so if you've played the games, this may be a moment you're waiting for. Everyone else will just be confused. I am finding it hard to say some good things about this film, but I will try.
So what? Are we like Guardians of the Galaxy now?
Put it together. What are you doing?
Milla Jovovich is good at being a badass heroine, and she has a couple of cool scenes, but again it's her husband's direction that takes away the bigger appreciation her badassery deserves. Tony Jaa does his own stunts, and I'd highly recommend seeing The Warrior King and On Back to really see his skills without choppy editing. The final act does get a bit more stylish with one or two cool parts, but it's just not enough to save it. Monster Hunter runs just over an hour and a half, but it feels about twice that long thanks to its listless, meandering plot devoid of a central focus or any meaningful world building. To any big game company that wants to turn their popular game into a movie series, don't let Anderson anywhere near it. Here's me hoping that Anderson doesn't milk this franchise for as many sequels as he can get, just like Resident Evil. 4 out of 10. Thank you so much for joining me and watching this review. If you enjoyed it, go and hit that like button as it is the best way to help me out. If you are new to the channel, subscribe because I've got plenty more reviews coming your way. Have you seen Monster Hunter yet, or are you thinking about seeing it? Let me know down below in the comments, I would love to chat to you about it. I have Instagram and Twitter, the links are down below in the description. Go and follow me on there to see what I'm getting up to in the future. This will probably be my last review before Christmas, so I hope you have an absolutely wonderful Christmas. Eat your body weight in food, hope you get some nice presents, but most importantly, you stay safe. And that is me, out!